Welcome back to my class, students. In the previous class I told you about the next chapter of your English supplementary book and the first glimpses of India and the first part of Baker from Goa. I told you the brief summary of the chapter of Baker from Goa. The author is Lucio Rodriguez. Now in this video I hope that you have understood the summary. Still, if you have not understood, we are going to do the detailed explanation of the first part of the chapter, Glimpses of India. First part is a Baker from Goa. So I hope that you all have books with you and the books are open, and we are going to do the chapter Glimpses of India, first part of Baker from Goa. Lucio Rodriguez, the author name is. Before you read, so let's start, my dear student. Before you read, there is an activity given, discuss in class. What images of people and of places come to your mind when you think of our country? What parts of India have you lived in or visited? Can you name some popular tourist destination? The first part, what images of people and of places come to your mind when you think of our country? Our country is a diverse country. Unity in diversity we say, because एकता, विविधता में एकता है. There are many cultures, many religions, many languages. After every 30 or 40 kilometer, languages change, the dressing sense change, religions, we have many religions, we have many languages, we have many cultures. So many images and many, if you go to Punjab side, you will find the girls are wearing the long kurtas, pajama suit though, and there are different kinds of festivals celebrated in the North India and South India. Different kinds of festivals are celebrated. Then East and West India also are there. So India is full of diversity. Right, my dear students? So there are different kinds of people and different kind of places, images we will have when we think about our country. What parts of India have you lived in or visited? Can you name some popular tourist destination? Yes, there are many popular tourist destinations like Shimla, Manali, Assam, Goa, Kerala. Many more are there. You may know that apart from the British, the Dutch and the French, you may know, I think that you must know because you are the student and you must know about this history portion. The Portuguese have also played a part in the history of our country. Yes, that's true. Can you say which parts of India show French and Portuguese influences? Portuguese to Goa, you can clearly say. Can you say which parts of India grow tea, coffee? You must know the answer, otherwise you will find out in the chapter. So now we will start with the further explanation of the chapter. A Baker from Goa. This is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. पेन पोर्ट्रेट मीन्स जो सालों से चला आ रहा है, आपने एक पोर्ट्रेट बना दिया है बिल्कुल से कि यही है भाई बेकर, ऐसे ही दिखता है, ऐसा ही होता है. ऑफ अ ट्रेडिशनल, जो पारंपरिक गोवा के जो विलेज हैं उसका जो बेकर होता है, हु स्टिल हैज़ एन इम्पॉर्टेंट प्लेस इन ही सोसाइटी. विलेजेस में स्टिल दे हैव देयर इम्पॉर्टेंट प्लेस. Okay, now we'll start. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Our elders, our elder here means the author Lucio Rodriguez is talking about himself and people like himself and their elders, authors elders. So they often heard reminiscing, nostalgic, thinking fondly of the past. जो बूढ़े लोग हो जाते हैं वो अपने पास्ट के बारे में जो बहुत अच्छी चीज़ें हैं, उनके टाइम के बारे में जो बहुत अच्छी चीज़ें हैं उन्हें बहुत प्यार से याद करते हैं. तो दे आर ऑल्सो, ऑथर इज सेइंग आवर एल्डर्स आर ऑफन हर्ड रेमिनिसिंग नॉस्टैल्जिकली about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. उनके जो Portuguese, when Goa was under the rule of Portuguese, and their famous loaves of bread, वहीं से bread का culture शुरू हुआ. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. Eaters have gone, right? They have gone. They have left India after the independence. They have left India. They have gone, and but the author is saying the makers are still there. उनको जो बनाने वाले हैं, सिखा के गए हैं वो, they have taught the Indians and they are still making. Makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, टुकड़े टुकड़े करते हैं, मोल्ड करते हैं चीज़ों को, and those who bake the loaves, और जो वो भी हैं जो बेक करते हैं loaves को. मिक्सर हैं, मोल्डर्स हैं, and the people who bake the loaves, they are still there. Those age old time tested furnaces, I told in the summary, age old काफ़ी पुरानी भट्टियाँ जो होती हैं, आज भी हैं भट्टियाँ, still exist, तो आज भी हैं. एज ओल्ड टाइम टेस्टेड, पुरानी तो ज़रूर हैं लेकिन उस समय से लेके अभी तक वो उनको हर तरह से टेस्ट किया गया. वो भट्टियाँ आज भी सक्सेसफुल हैं, अभी भी वो यूज़ में हैं. द फायर in the furnaces, loaves bake the loaves here means पाव रोटी जिसको हम बोलते हैं, ब्रेड का तो bread shaped and baked in one piece, जो पाव बन जाता है, पाव बोलते हैं इसको हम. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. Extinguished मतलब ख़त्म नहीं हुई है. जो भट्टी की आग है वो अभी भी जलती है. बेकर्स उसमें बेक करते हैं, लोव्स बनाते हैं, ब्रेड्स बनाते हैं, पाव बनाते हैं. तो वो अभी भले ही पोर्तुगीज़ एग्जिस्टेंस दे आर एक्सटिंग्विश्ड मतलब ख़त्म हो चुका उनका अस्तित्व, बट द फायर इन द फर्नेसेस हैज़ नॉट येट बीन एक्सटिंग्विश्ड. अभी तक वहाँ से आग नहीं हटी, भट्टियों में से आग नहीं हटी है. The third and the jingle of, third means आवाज़ आना, when you are having something in your hand and you hit it hard on the floor, whether you have stick, so the third and the jingle sound of the traditional bakers bamboo, उनके पास बांस की ना. अब भी you people might or may have seen this because you will find that some hawkers come and they have this bamboo stick and they have one basket on their head and they are selling few things and when for things for the children, eatable things for the children, and they go and wander in streets and they shout also. So they do like this. Third jingle, the traditional bakers bamboo अभी भी सुनाई देता है. Heralding, announcing his arrival in the morning, can still be heard in some places. Abhi bhi you can in Goa, some villages you can still heard that third of bamboo stick in some part of the villages. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as padders in Goa. So the author further saying that maybe the fathers are not alive, but the profession is being continued by their son. उनके बेटों के द्वारा ये कंटिन्यू किया जा रहा है. And these bakers are, जो bakers हैं even today, आज भी known as padders in Goa. उनको padders के नाम से जाना जाता है bakers को गोवा में. I have told you in summary also. During a childhood in Goa, now the author describing about his childhood when he was a kid and he was in Goa. So what used to happen? Now he is telling, the baker used to be a friend. Baker जो होता था वो बच्चों का दोस्त होता था. Companion and guide, friend, companion, साथी, दोस्त, मित्र and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling around, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. I told you the description. So when the author was a child and in his childhood, he is saying in his childhood the baker used to be their friend, companion and guide. He used to come twice in a day, and when he set out in the morning on his selling round, और जब वो अपने सुबह सुबह अपने बेचने के लिए निकलता था, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket, और जब अपनी बड़ी सी टोकरी को खाली करके आता था वो, the jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep and we ran to meet and greet him. तो whenever they used to hear the jingling third, वो घंटियाँ लगी होती थी उस bamboo stick में, और वो जब उसको बजाता था, and when they used to hear, they used to run after him without cleaning their without brushing and cleaning their mouth properly. Why was it so? ऐसा क्यों था? Was it for the love of the loaf? Was it for that love of loaf that they would get the loaf, so that's why they used to run? Not at all, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. Not at all का मतलब बिल्कुल भी नहीं. The loaves were bought by some Paskin or Bastin, the maid servant of the house, because the bread loaves used to collect by the these servants, some Paskin or Bastine, the French servant at that time of author's childhood time. He used to say that why did we used to do that? Why did we used to run after the baker? Was it the love of for the love of loaf? No, because that loaves were collected by the servants, maid servants. Was it for the no? What we launched for were those bread bangles which we chose carefully. जो जिस चीज़ के लिए वो भागते थे, जो चाहत थी, उनकी डिज़ायर थी, वो ये था कि जो ब्रेड बैंगल शेप में which we chose carefully, जिनको वो बहुत ध्यान से चुनते थे. Sometimes it was sweet bread of special make, बहुत ख़ास तरह से कभी कभी वो बनी होती थी. That's why bread of loaves के लिए नहीं भागते थे. love of loaf नहीं था ब्रेड पीस के लिए. वो ब्रेड बैंगल भी जो sometime it is made very specially, they used to choose carefully. So that was it. Right, my dear student, the next paragraph. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jung jung sound of his specially made bamboo staff. तो उसकी जो एंट्री कैसे होती है? द एंट्री ऑफ द बेकर विल बी दैट ही विल बी हैविंग अ बैम्बू स्टिक, स्पेशली डेकोरेटेड बैम्बू स्टिक, एंड द साउंड दैट वुड प्रोड्यूस द साउंड जंग जंग. One hand supported the basket on his hand and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. It can be either hand, like right hand supporting the basket and on the left, with the left hand he is producing the sound, producing the third, and maybe the left hand supporting vice versa. So one hand supported the basket on his hand and other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning. Greet करेगा, उसको नमस्कार करेगा, good morning बोलेगा, and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo, और उस vertical bamboo पे रख देगा, टिका देगा वहाँ पर. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke. Rebuke an expression of disapproval, a scolding. Mild means a very soft scold, soft rebuke हो जाएगा यहाँ पे. Means pushed aside by with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. See, the lady means their mother or their grandmother. The baker would greet with good morning, and the children, they used to run after him, and because of the love of that specially bread bangle, specially made bread bangle, so they would be mild pushed away with a mild rebuke, धीरे से हल्के से डांट के चलो चलो हटो हटो, like this they will be pushed away. And the loaves would be delivered to the servant, और जो loaves होते थे वो servant को ही deliver किए जाते थे. We have read that some Paskin or Bastin will collect the used to collect the loaves. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and peep into the basket. वो एक बेंच पे चढ़ जाएंगे, पापेट पे चढ़ जाएंगे, और peep into मतलब झांक कर देखेंगे basket में. Somehow I can still recall the typical fragrance means खुशबू of those loaves. उसको अभी भी उसको recall कर सकता है, वो उस खुशबू को याद कर सकता है. Loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Loaves जो होते थे वो elders के लिए, जो bangles bread bangles होते थे वो बच्चों के लिए होते थे. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly, and why should we? Here he is saying that जब वो bangles मिल जाते थे, they used to eat them without brushing or cleaning their mouth properly, and then why should we? He is saying why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush, and why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. He's saying that for that, cleaning their mouth, they have to, put in effort to find a mango stick and mango leaf with and do the brush. And why was it necessary at all? क्या ज़रूरत भी थी? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Now he's saying that शेर कभी मुंह नहीं धोते हैं, है ना? And गर्म चाय पियेंगे तो सब कुछ अपने आप साफ हो जाएगा. Now there are some oral comprehension check question answer, my dear students. Let's discuss them. What are the elders in Goa nostalgic about? It is very easy question. You will find out they often, they always reminiscing nostalgia about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. So the elders were nostalgic about this thing. The answer is given here. Is bread making still popular in Goa? How do you know? Yes, bread making is still popular in Goa. Still, you can hear the sound of the famous third of the baker's bamboo stick in some part of the villages. So the bread making still popular in Goa. They go and they sell. What is the baker called? Baker is called peddlers in Goa. When would the baker come every day? Why did the children run to meet him? Baker would come in the morning. He would. The answer is given. The maker is musical entry on the scene with the jeng jeng sound of his specially made bamboo staff. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady. When he used to come during the childhood, the baker used to be our friend, companion. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning. The answer is when he used to come in the morning, when he used to go set out on his selling round, and then again when he sold, when he बेच देता था, when he used to sell everything, and then he would come back with empty basket. Why did the children run to meet him? They used to they ran to meet him because they used to run after him. They used to go after him because in the search of bread bangles, which are sometimes specially made, and the baker used to be their friend, companion and guide also. Now my dear students, I think we should continue with this chapter because only 3 paragraphs are left, so we will read it. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the bowl, just as a party or feast loses its charms without bread. So I have told you in the summary that the bowl or the sweet bread is a part of a marriage gifts, and without this the marriages are meaningless. And like just as a party or a festival हो या बड़ा सा फंक्शन हो कोई, तो उसमें with bread होनी है, बोलिनास और coconut cookies होनी है. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. इससे ज़्यादा कहने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है कि विलेज में एक बेकर का होना कितना इम्पॉर्टेंट है. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Whenever daughter's engagement is there, the lady of the house, means mother, would prepare the sandwiches. Cakes and bolinas are a must for Christmas as well as other festival. Cakes होंगे, bolinas होंगे, or the coconut cookies, they must be served on Christmas and for some parties and other festivals. Thus, the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. Thus means इसलिए ये साबित करता है कि the presence of the baker's furnace, बेकर की भट्टी का गांव में होना कितना महत्वपूर्ण है, essential है, आवश्यक है. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabai. Now the author is telling about the dress of the baker, what kind of dress they used to wear. That was a peculiar dress known as the kabai. How it was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. A single piece frock थी with the length of that frock used to reach up to knee length. In our childhood, earlier the name of the dress was kabai and the description of the dress was that was a single piece of frock and the length of that frock was up to knee length. But in the childhood of the author, in our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. So short in the childhood of author Baker, he saw that bakers wearing a shirt and trouser which were shorter than full length. जो शर्ट होती थी full length से थोड़ी छोटी and the full length ones and longer than half pants. So जो half pants से थोड़ी सी और लंबी होती थी. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knee invites the comment that he is dressed like a padder. So in Goa, even today, if someone is wearing, the pant, half pant, which is just a little longer, going down, little bit going down, the knee, so he would get the comment, he would be called a padder. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. They usually collected, क्या करते थे वो, डेली पैसे नहीं लेते थे, right? They used to come, they used to sell the loaves of bread, loaves and bangles, and they used to maintain a diary, and the same thing the same record used to be maintained by the people whom they are selling, and at the end of every month they used to collect their bills. पैसा तभी लेते थे. Monthly accounts used to be recorded in some wall in pencil. दीवारों पे लिख दिया जाता था आज बेकर ने इतने दिए, इतने ब्रेड लिए, इतने पाव लिए, एंड पेंसिल से या किसी वॉल पे लिख दिया जाता था या फिर डायरी में मेंटेन कर लेते होंगे वो. बेकिंग वॉज इंडीड, और जो बेकिंग थी वॉज इंडीड उस टाइम पे एक सच में प्रॉफिटेबल प्रोफेशन इन द ओल्ड डेज. उस टाइम पे बेकिंग बहुत ही फ़ायदेमंद बिजनेस था, बहुत फ़ायदा होता था जो भी ये बिज़नेस करता था. द बेकर एंड हिज फैमिली इज़ नेवर स्टार्व. द बेकर एंड हिज फैमिली, द वन हु यूज्ड टू बेक, दे एंड हिज फैमिली वुड नेवर स्टार्व. कभी भी भूख से तड़पे नहीं, ना ही भूख से मरे. He, his family and his servants always looked happy. The people in the business, the owner's family and the servants, they always looked happy and prosperous. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Plump physique, pleasantly fat body. People who were fat, but they did not look like bad. Some are very fat, they used to be fat, but their plump physique means fluffy physique, थोड़े मोटे भरे हुए पर जो अच्छे लगते हैं. They look good in appearance. When you will look at them, they will look good. They will not look bad or ugly. So it was an open testimony to this. Open testimony is public statement about a character or quality. So whenever people used to see a person who has plump physique, which is looking quite good, though he or she is fat, so that plump physique people did not used to tell that I am a baker. People used to understand automatically that he's a little plump, he has or she has a little she has or he has plump physique, so he or she must be a baker, because it was an open testimony for them. Even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. Or आज भी, if a person has a physique like a jackfruit or little plump, if a person has a plump physique, is easily compared to a baker. If I have a plump physique, I am in Goa, so I will be compared to a baker. You will be also compared to a baker if you are in Goa and if you have a plump physique even today. So now some oral comprehension check. Match the following. I am giving you this work to match yourself. You will match this thing yourselves. I will not tell. Now the second question. What did the bakers wear in the Portuguese days when the author was young? In the Portuguese days, they used to wear a single piece of frock and the length of that frock reaching just below the knee or just up to the knee. And when the author was young, at that point of time they started wearing the shirt and trousers were the length of the trouser was just below the knee. It was. And my dear student, this is when who invites the comment, he is dressed like a pedder. Why? And fourth and fifth question, my dear student, you third, fourth and fifth question you will do yourself. And I think this is enough for today's class. We will meet tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.